Hello, welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, are you feeling the heat? Are you feeling the heat? The market is still going down. We're still sort of in the middle of this larger support region. I'd say we're now entering the lower half of the yellow support region for a possible wave 2 interpretation. And the next support levels at around 59,400 and 58,400 are likely going to be tested. So we see a little bit of movement this weekend, which is quite interesting because normally weekends are fairly boring. So maybe we see that final flush before a recovery. I'm still watching for a recovery, but at the same time, I recognize the local trend is still down and we need that trend change signal that I mentioned earlier today, which hasn't shown yet. Okay, so we're just simply going with the trend, which is locally still down, but is now pretty much extended to the downside, not in an unusual way for a wave 2. I actually shared with you a few days ago that we're likely going to see a test of 58,400 because that's the 100% extension of the initial move down. So it's a typical target. Also, this is where the 1.618 extension and the 100% extension, two different ways of measuring really, where they align and overlap. So again, can I promise we're turning around in the yellow support zone? No, but it is a thesis. Okay, it's the current thesis. So we have here this pattern that we're watching, a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside, based on an assessment of market structure. The 5-wave move up indicates the trend could be up, and we're, however, as always, that there are 3 ways of confirming price action, or 3 levels, I should rather say. The first one is a 5-wave move up. In this entire correction since March, we haven't seen a single solid 5-wave move to the upside. There's just not been any 5-wave move up. The only 5-wave move that we've seen that also looks good is this one, and it is a 5-wave move. The only thing is, question, is this a wave 1? Okay, and this will be tested in the subsequent pullback. So the wave 1, the 5-wave move up, is always the first level of confirmation. The wave 2 is the second level of confirmation, holding a higher low. That's very important. Without holding a higher low, there is no 1-2 setup. So this would be the second level of confirmation. How do we get that? Well, basically by seeing that the price does react, that the price is motivated to react to one of these fib support levels, and that we see a turnaround, even on a smaller time frame, the next 1-2 setup to the upside, for example. And then a break above the wave 1 to the upside, the first 5-wave move up, that's the third level of confirmation. So as you can recognize, probably, we only have 1 degree of confirmation here. So it's pretty much uncertain. Therefore, I always say, I can't promise that we're holding support, but it is a possible setup. It is probably the best long trade setup that we've had in this entire period. However, it could still be something different, like, for example, a still unfolding wave 4, which presumably bottomed on the 5th of July. But some of you have asked me, could it be that the B wave did sit here? And I think I showed it in the last video actually. And yeah, that's possible. I mean, it could be, look, A wave, yeah, and then the B wave is here, and then this here was just an A, B, C. So the C wave as a 5-wave move, that would explain the 5-wave move to the upside. Okay, so how do you know? Yeah, you don't know. Okay, it's all about probabilities. And if we see a first 5-wave move up based on the context, because this correction can be interpreted as complete, based on the context, we can look for higher prices. But only if, and there's always an if condition, if then, it's all about that. That's actionable for a trader. So as long as we're holding 56,775, below that level, the probabilities are shifting towards a more bearish interpretation, and the invalidation point is here at 53,670. So it's normal to feel the heat in a wave 2. I mean, that's my current thesis. Again, I could be wrong about that. The local trend is down. We don't want to fight the trend. The local trend is down still, and that needs to be recognized, which is why we're tracking multiple times a day here and in our membership, we're tracking the microstructures. So as soon as I see an indication that we've bottomed, I will let you know. And obviously, if it's only on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute chart, it's less reliable. If it's on the 30-minute, you know, a small 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback or a break above the previous high, then we have the first indications that lows have formed. I mentioned to you in the last video, earliest indication would be a break above the wave 4 high at 62,200, hasn't happened yet. And the next one would be a break above 65,600 here. This would be a decent signal getting above that B wave top, but that hasn't happened yet. So we're still looking for further downside here because the trend is still down. At the same time, we're watching for reversal at these fib levels. I hope that's clear. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.